Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 6. We have some major developments tonight in the Middle East. The day began with hope. People dancing in the streets of Gaza as Hamas announced it accepted a ceasefire deal brokered by Egypt and Qatar. But that hope was quickly dashed. Israel rejecting the deal, saying the terms are nowhere close to meeting its demands. At the same time, Israel ordering Palestinians living in Rafah in southern Gaza to evacuate immediately as the IDF prepares its assault on the city. But let's come back here into the Bay Area and look at this, a much different sort of negotiation, something we have not seen during any of the other ongoing protests at college campuses across the country. Administration meeting with protesters face to face. Our Kelsi Thorud was there at this unprecedented sit-down.
In what's being called a first-of-its-kind negotiation, encampment protesters here at SF State sat down with the university's president to share their demands with her in person and also get her response in real time. It's a negotiation that lasted just around a half an hour and was attended by hundreds of students here on campus.
I'd like to recognize and give a very warm welcome and thank you to our San Francisco State University President Lynn Mahoney.
Sitting face to face, just feet apart, surrounded by students, faculty, and media. Pro-Palestinian student protesters who set up the encampment in the middle of San Francisco State's campus laid out their demands to SFSU President Lynn Mahoney.
We are students, we are faculty, and we are staff demanding for the CSU and SF State University to divest from all companies and partnerships which actively participate in the colonization and ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people.
The students here at SF State, like so many other student protesters across the country, are demanding the university not only divest from companies that do business with Israel, they also want the university to disclose all of its investments and also defend the rights of pro-Palestinian speech on campus and declare their support for the Palestinian people in Gaza.
Just as Mahoney and SFSU praised the 1968 Third World Liberation Strike, we demand SFSU President Lynn Mahoney publicly oppose Bill SB 1287 and defend our right to protest, speech, and assembly.
President Mahoney promised to work with student protesters.
Let's hammer out exactly what it would look like.
Saying she was willing to meet with representatives as soon as possible and work with them to meet some of these demands.
And we can have two conversations. One is about what full transparency would look like and how we can make it clear to anybody who wants to see how San Francisco State invests its funds and how it spends it. But the second is to take another look at that investment policy.
In the end, President Mahoney and the student protesters left the conversation to be continued. Both sides seemed happy with that result.
Appreciative of my students willing to have a conversation with me.
What's the next steps with this?
I'm going to continue the conversation with them.
I feel very confident that she has appeared to be very open to our conversations and moving forward with the majority of our demands. And we're looking forward to continuing to have these conversations. And it looks like we're going to be making very steadfast progress into their implementation.
Now, student protesters say while these negotiations are still ongoing, this encampment in the middle of campus will remain. It's still unclear exactly what the timeline on a resolution will be.